Everyone says the same thing. I don't have time. But the truth is, time doesn't disappear. It just hides from those who don't know how to use it. Stay with me until the end of this story, because it might change the way you see every hour of your life. It will show you that finding time is not about luck or magic. It's about awakening something that's already inside you. There was once a young man named Lucas. He had dreams like everyone else, learning new skills, growing in his career, becoming the best version of himself. But there was one problem. He could never find the time. Every day was the same. He worked long hours, came home tired, scrolled through his phone for just a few minutes, and went to bed feeling guilty. He often said to himself, "One day I'll start learning English. One day I'll take that online course." But that one day never came. His plans lived in the future, while his life slipped quietly through his fingers. Over time, the guilt grew heavier. He saw others progressing, learning, improving, moving forward, while he stayed in the same place. It wasn't that he lacked intelligence or ambition. It was that he lived as if time were an endless resource. And deep down, he believed he needed more time to start, without realizing that what he really needed was more presence. One weekend, Lucas went to visit his grandfather in a small village. The house was old and peaceful, filled with the smell of wood and coffee. On the wall of the living room, Lucas noticed something strange. A large old clock, frozen at exactly 6:15. Its hands hadn't moved in years. "Grandpa, your clock's broken," Lucas said, half laughing. The old man smiled gently. "It broke a long time ago," he replied, "but I never fixed it. I keep it there to remind me of something important. That time only stops for those who stop using it." Lucas frowned. He didn't fully understand. The grandfather noticed his confusion and motioned for him to sit down. "Let me tell you a story," he said. "When I was your age," the old man began, "I used to say the same thing. I'll do it when I have time. I told myself I'd learn painting when I retired, that I'd read more books when life slowed down. But the truth is, life never slows down. It just passes quietly, one sunrise after another. One day, that very clock fell off the wall and broke. I remember picking it up and realizing that its still hands looked exactly like my own life. Stuck. Waiting. Paused. That day, I finally understood. Time never waits. Either you use it, or it uses you." He stood up and led Lucas outside. In the garden, under a mango tree, there was an old wooden stool and a set of paintbrushes covered in dust. "After that day," the grandfather said, "I started painting every morning, not for hours, and sometimes just 10 minutes before breakfast. But those 10 minutes changed my life. Because time doesn't need to be found, it needs to be made. Even a few minutes used with purpose can build a bridge to your dreams." Lucas looked at the brushes, then at his grandfather's calm, steady eyes. For the first time, he understood that the problem wasn't the lack of time. It was the lack of intention. He stared again at the broken clock inside the house, and something inside him shifted. It was as if the frozen hands of that clock mirrored a part of him that had been asleep for too long. That night, back home, Lucas did something simple but powerful. He set an alarm on his phone for 20 minutes a day. Just 20 minutes, no social media, no distractions, no excuses. During that time, he studied, read, and learned. Some days it felt easy, other days impossible. But he stayed consistent. Weeks turned into months, and something strange happened. The more he learned, the more time he seemed to have. The evenings didn't feel rushed anymore. The guilt disappeared. His confidence grew. Because when you act with purpose, time expands. When you take control, the day bends around you instead of slipping away. A year later, Lucas returned to his grandfather's house. The old clock was still frozen at 6:15, but Lucas was no longer the same. He had completed his course, learned a new language, and earned a better job. More than that, he had learned to stop chasing time and start creating it. The old man smiled as Lucas told him everything. "So," the grandfather asked softly, "you finally fixed your schedule?" Lucas smiled back and looked at the broken clock. "Not my schedule," he said. "I fixed myself." The moral of the story is simple. You will never find time. You have to make it. The people who wait for the perfect moment never start. But those who start, even with 10 minutes, create their own moment. Because time isn't missing. It's just hiding behind your excuses. Quote to remember: time doesn't disappear. It just waits for you to decide. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who always says, I don't have time. Like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, the best moment to learn is not tomorrow, it's now.